Hey guys, Zack here, and this is my review of One Piece Season 1 Episode 6. So, the episode opens off with Buggy's crew basically getting blown to shit by his own buggy ball. And then Zoro piggybacks Luffy's cage into town while Luffy introduces Nami and Zoro to each other. And then Beast Tamer Moji is introduced at this point, but we don't see much of him until a little bit later, so I won't exactly spoil him just yet. And then they park themselves in front of a pet food store where they encounter a dog, and Luffy has an interesting interaction with the dog. He pokes the dog it gets upset and attacks him. And then Nami shows up, gives him the key, because they part ways for a little bit here, but she comes back after and gives him the key, and the dog swallows it. Yeah, the dog just swallows it. Luffy becomes upset with the dog and throttles it until the mayor of the town intervenes and tells the whole story about why the dog is actually guards the store, because the owner died and the dog is trying to protect the store until he gets back, even though the dog knows that the owner is never coming back, which is kind of sad. And then Moji actually appears in this episode, so he actually appears at this point and frees Luffy by accident after introducing who he is. Accidentally breaks the cage, but does send him flying through a house, even though he's pretty much fine, because he's Luffy. We know at this point that he's pretty much invincible for the most part. And then Luffy rushes to assist Zoro and the dog, because the Beast Tamer Moji is after Zoro. Meanwhile, the Beast Tamer, he has his monster attack the pet food store, and the dog desperately tries to fight back but isn't able to. He gets knocked unconscious, and we also see what the relationship between the dog and his owner was, and it was fairly positive. The owner really cared for the dog and trusted the dog with the store, and the dog is upset because it gets burned down basically by the dude, because he's just a jackass. He just burns it down because he can. And Luffy finds this out and goes to get the last remaining piece of food that was stolen from the store, defeats the beast single-handedly, then beats up Moji, who then reports to Buggy that he was defeated by the Straw Hat kid, because they don't know his name. We know his name, but they don't know his name. It's kind of confusing. Nami also tries to attack Luffy out of prejudice and spite, even though Luffy is a good guy and is trying to help the dog out. And the mayor reveals why his town is so important to him, because he was one of the people who originally founded it, and that when he arrived it wasn't actually a town, but it was kind of a barren landscape. So yeah, that's the thing. And then his house gets destroyed, and Zoro's somehow inside the house, but he's somehow alive. He's just sleeping this entire time up until this point, just to kind of brush it all off and all that good stuff. And then the mayor is upset and runs off, despite knowing the risk that he might die, and the Luffy and the crew go to help him, but Nami is... Don't pay attention to that, I'm just flipping my paper, because I took notes this time! Yay! So Nami decides to join up with the crew, kinda sorta. She says that she'll never be a pirate, but she will help them out due to their common goals. And Buggy, upon seeing the mayor prattling about how destroying the town because the town is his treasure is wrong, but Buggy points out that he's the only one who's allowed to have treasure, and starts strangling the mayor. but then Luffy intervenes and says he's going to kick Buggy's ass, which is kind of cool. But that's pretty much the episode. So yeah, I like this. It does do some character development for Nami. She realizes that Luffy isn't as bad a guy as she was led to believe, because she was so prejudiced towards pirates until she met Luffy, and then decided to have a change of heart after seeing him go out of his way to help an innocent dog who he didn't get along with at first, but then decided to help him out because, hey, it's not right to steal somebody's treasure, despite even what it is. Because there's material treasure, like wealth treasure, that kind of thing, and then there's like material treasure, like treasure that you will, it's kind of like sentimental treasure. For example, hold on, let me get it. Hold on, I actually have a perfect example for this. Hold on, let me just Okay, you see this? This is my treasure, all right? I have had this thing since I was a little kid. It has been through my life since I was little, and it has sentimental value to me. It is my treasure, so I know where he's coming from. And I'm just gonna throw that back on the bed. Yeah, but that's not right. You're not supposed to just you're not supposed to just destroy somebody's shit for the hell of it. And I kind of agree with Luffy on this point, because he has Shanks' treasure, and it's also his treasure, kind of, sort of, because he promised to return it to Shanks when he becomes king of the pirates. But until then, it's his treasure. And you don't just destroy somebody's shit. You don't just do that. You have to have regards for people and all that stuff. And that's where Luffy differs from other pirates. And that's why Nami kind of just decides to join his crew, because she doesn't want to be a pirate, but she also kind of agrees with Luffy on some stuff. So she and because Luffy is kind of like an anti-pirate, like he's a pirate, but he actually cares about people and their shit. So she decides to join up with him anyway, despite her conflicting morals about being a pirate. And that's kind of a sweet message for this episode, really. But yeah, I'll discuss if you want to know what this is, I'm trying to improve my reviews and all that stuff. I'm trying to make it more concise. I'm also trying to figure out a way to have actual footage to play through the video, so that I can actually show footage for the video so that it actually looks like a proper video instead of just me rambling at a camera. I'm trying to actually give a proper review here. I'm a professional. I'm trying to make it more professional for you guys. But that's just my little spiel on that. That has actually absolutely nothing to do with what I thought of the episode, but I thought I'd bring it up anyway. And I did like this episode because it does show, because as I said, it does give Nami a change of heart, and it shows her that some pirates aren't all bad, and decides to become a pirate despite saying that she'll never be a pirate. And that's great. And Zoro really didn't do all that much in this episode. He was just kind of, yeah, he got stabbed in the gut in the last episode and slept through most of this one, so we don't really see much of him. But yeah, that's my take on this episode. So if you guys have seen this episode of One Piece, what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comments down below or over on my Discord server, link in the description as always. And until then, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, hit that like and that subscribe button. Also be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!